Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And I have to say, I'm tormenting myself with this. I should not be covering her. I shouldn't be. I told y'all, from my MBTI people, I've been having a bit of perceiver fatigue. And this is what I'm talking about right here. This woman, she's a good example of it. For those of you guys who don't know what a perceiver is somebody who's very spontaneous. They're less decisive. They're like kind of more random. Okay? I'm a judger, which means I plan things out. I'm more structured, etc. I don't even want to start it. Don't make me do this. Okay. So, let's get some ground rules before I get started. The toxic ritualistic is something I mention often. It is a coded term for E followed by the letter D. I use The Last of Us zombies to reference different types of people within the toxic ritualistic world or the E followed by the letter D world. This woman is a stalker. So we're out hunting. We're always hunting zombies on this channel, especially now, especially this year. So what is a stalker? A stalker is somebody who the brain cells are kind of fried, but they're not that severe. So they have a problem, but they're not a severe problem. Okay, that's basically what it is. They usually attempt to use logic. They're more manipulative and they're more able to hide their behavior. Although not from me, because I used to be a clicker. So I know what it looks like and I know where it's coming from. And you're never going to stop me. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let this play. She personally irritates the fuck out of me. I'm just going to say it. She does. I'm sorry. I have to disclose sometimes when it's a little personal. But I just wanted to show you what I was talking about with the perceiver fatigue. And I wanted to show you that I can still be professional or something. I don't know. I'm challenging myself. We're trying new things. Okay.
These videos.
I don't want to see people eating like a Big Back because I can't. So I don't want to see it.
Yikes! I hate the term Big Back. What are we doing?
I literally packed up the junk food in my house, put it in a fucking suitcase, and like slid it under the bed of my guest room. You wake up in the morning with morning skinny and you realize that you hit macros the day before. Number one, it feels so good. You like physically feel good.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is not healthy eating. This is not a healthy lifestyle. Not only is the term Big Back disgusting and heavily rooted in fat phobia, but to see a skinny white girl talking about being a Big Back, this is why I hate skinny talk. This glorification, this superiority complex that comes with disordered eating, especially in this political climate, is so dangerous, so gross. I think this intersection here is really important for us to talk about, especially in terms of harm reduction, where you can desire weight loss. Your desire for weight loss makes sense given our society, given this political climate, and still be able to criticize anti-fat bias, fat phobia. You cannot sit idly by and just go, oh, skinny talk, yeah, whatever. This is like 2010 times 10, you know what I'm saying? Do not let people on the internet convince you that skinny talk is healthy, okay, and safe. And it is a straight up lie that waking up in the morning, being hungry, and feeling skinnier makes you feel better. Because your thoughts are so heavily clouded by food, your weight, your body, your movement, and you don't have room for anything else. It is so sad to me how we praise and idolize skinny talk, and we say that we should lose weight at any cost. These videos are fucked up, man. Fucked up. Watch these videos.
Okay. So what do we see a lot of? So I have to say, like, when she was like going on and then she's like, in this political climate, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I think the idea that we should downsize or upsize based on politics is so deeply disordered, like beyond, like the fact that she would even say that, zombie, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But I think that that's kind of her stalker style. She kind of just throws everything at you. like really quickly. She does say that she has ADHD, but I just see perceiver. That's all I see. But anyways, no, I'm just saying it's just a bunch of random stuff. It's all over the place. She throws everything at you and she's hoping something will stick. That's kind of her method. So just because you say a bunch of stuff really fast, it doesn't mean that you're making sense. It doesn't mean that you're actually making a good point. The logic is zombie logic. It's not really there. It's heavily emotional, but it's still the presentation. Like it's like, I think this is kind of how a lot of stalkers are. Like, the message that she's saying is incredibly emotional, but the presentation is like pseudo-logical. That's basically what I see a lot with this type of zombie. And she, I think, has had a reductive issue. I think she still does, to be honest. Keep it real, but or she at least has something going on. I don't think she got over it completely. Which we'll get into that. That's going to be the last one where I'm going to show you why I think that, because she talks about herself specifically. But regardless, let's go ahead and break this down piece by piece. I'm probably going to have to pause it like 20,000 times because she's going to be jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing. So let's go.
I don't want to see people eating like a big back because I can't. So I don't want to see it.
So the idea of that, this person is attempting to downsize or I don't know. I don't really know everything about skinny, you know what? Because it was taken down before I could really get into it and I could really look at it. From what I know about it, there were some things that were good takes, some things that were bad takes. I think it's probably similar with the fitness world on Instagram. It's a mixed bag. So I always tell you guys to be scrutinizing. And also always be aware of if something is for you, in the sense of like, there is a big difference. There's really like, if I were to talk about weight loss publicly, there's 3 different things, basically. You have to think of it in terms of like super morbid obesity. That's kind of like its own category. Then you have just like if you're fat, period, like if you're actually fat. So that's like you're significantly overweight, you're obese, even like mid-size, it could still be there, but that's where you start to shift into vanity, because then there's vanity. Those 3 things, they're all different. They require different conversations. And so if you're fat, a vanity weight person is not going to be helpful to you. I don't think it will work. The advice is going to be catered to people who are already thin or people who are of average weight, aka. So it's not going to really apply. It does require more discipline at that phase, but that discipline could be kind of out of reach or too much or unnecessary if you're still fat. Like if you're still pretty much like very overweight or obese, even class 2 obese. When we get to class 3, things are kind of even looser diet-wise because you have so many calories to work with at that phase. And exercise advice is different. You have to talk about like mitigating risk and not injuring yourself. Your body is very delicate. So that's also different too. So you have like these 3 different flavors. A lot of people don't know that. They only know their own experience. So just be aware of what you're looking at, where somebody's coming from, and if it applies to you or not. That's my biggest thing. So she's saying within her vanity journey or whatever, I don't know if she's trying to maintain or she's trying to get to a certain place, that she doesn't want to look at stuff on her page of people eating a lot or being a big back, basically, which that's fair. You know, for me, I'm kind of the opposite. When I was feeling super diet culture vampire-y, which is basically like when you've been steeped in diet culture a bit too long, you get kind of tired, kind of, no, I'm just kidding. You kind of get like that. I've been having steak like every day and I'm getting better already. So I needed some iron. Somebody asked me, how do you kill a diet culture vampire? With iron. That's how you kill it. You get an iron steak straight through the heart. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you consume iron, and then you feel better. So I'm starting to feel better. But when I'm like that, I can watch junk food stuff. Like I can watch reels of like, and I like to watch like weird marshmallow combinations and just weird stuff, weird stuff. And not everybody's like that. Like for me, I can kind of like, I don't know if it's living vicariously. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's vicarious because I don't like to watch people eat it. I just like to watch people cook it. And I think it's like, I don't know if it's like a dopamine thing. I don't know. I don't know what it does for me, but whatever. It does something. And it works for me. I can stick to it. But that's going to be different for everybody. Like with some of these hacks and stuff within Vanity Weight, it is very hyper specific to the person, but people often just give their advice. And I think that take of like not watching people eat a lot is probably more of a general take, which I think would apply to more people. I think I'm the weird one. But I also like to watch like slime videos and stuff like that. And I've been watching like beta care, like taking care of beta fish or beta. I don't know why I like to call them beta. I think that's pronounced wrong, but that kind of stuff. Like I watch weird stuff. I was watching stuff about conspiracy theories and about Selena Gomez and just weird stuff like paranormal horror. You guys know I'm a horror girly pop. So I do all that weird stuff when I'm super diet culture vampire. Or like one time I was like in the autumn, I was super diet culture vampire. That time I was crazy. And I sat and watched Twilight and then like analyzed it through a attachment style lens, which is like ridiculous. But you do what you do. You do what gets you through. So I think that's fine. I think that's fine for her to say that. That's her life. She doesn't have to watch people eating a ton of food, but this really offends her that she doesn't want to.
Yikes! I hate the term big back. What are we doing?
I literally.
Okay, you can hate it, but you're not going to control if people say it. Sorry. You can hate it though, that's fine. You're entitled to your feelings, your opinion.
I packed up the junk food in my house, put it in a fucking suitcase, and like slid it under the bed of my guest room.
Okay, so it bothers her that she's not eating junk food. So she hates that for some reason.
You wake up in the morning with morning skinny and you realize that you hit macros the day before. Number one, it feels so good. You like physically feel good.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
So I don't necessarily agree with that. But I've heard that term before, but that's where I'm like, you know, I don't love it as a message just because it's kind of fueling body obsession, or it's kind of like encouraging that. It's kind of on the line for me is what I would say. I wouldn't say like, oh, don't ever say that. I'm not on that line, but would I ever say it? No. You get what I'm saying? I don't think I've felt that way either, because especially in vanity, it's like when you're in that phase, you swell easily, especially when you're actively downsizing. I have been going through a little bit of dysmorphia lately because my body is shifting, and that is still a little tricky for me. I think it makes sense though, because it's like directly focused on body change. So obviously it will make you look or think a little bit. I'm okay. It's not like I'm freaking out or anything, but I'm just like, I don't know where I stand kind of thing. Like it's just weird. I think that's part of my diet culture vampirism too, that I was going through and that I'm getting out of, thank God. But it's like, you have to like not be too obsessed, you know, especially when you're in the deficit. Because I try to tell you guys, like when you're not overweight and you're in a downsizing cycle, it should be a cycle. You should have an end date. I'm going to say that forever. Things can get a little blurry, so you need to like be aware of that when you go in. So you decide what you're going to do it. Don't get all weird when you're in it. And I wouldn't focus too much on your body, where it's like, I think it's just a little too much to be like, I'm morning skinny, because then what? You're night fat, you see? It's like, chill. Just chill. That's kind of my thoughts about that. It's like, chill out. Think about something more productive. That's my advice. But yeah.
This is not healthy eating. This is not a healthy lifestyle. Not only is the term big back disgusting and heavily rooted in fat phobia, but to see a skinny white girl talking about being a big back, this is why I hate.
Okay, so I hate that because it's like, it's so, I don't know what she's even trying to say. I'm like, is she trying to say it's racist? Is she trying to say it's, I don't know what she's trying to say. I'm like, what is that? Is that what she's saying? It's racist for her to say big back? Like, I don't know. The message isn't messaging. It's not clear. Like, is that what that was? I don't know.
Skinny talk. This glorification, this superiority complex that comes with disordered eating.
Okay, so the superiority complex, I think what's important is to not be super comparison-ish or competitive, because you have to keep in perspective that it's not you versus someone else or you versus anyone else. It's you yourself. So it's like you're just working on yourself. That's all. So try not to think of it that way. But I don't think that she was. I think she was just saying, I don't want to look at that because I can't eat like that right now. And I want to. So I'm like, I feel like that's relatable. So I don't think that she was saying it like in a super toxic way. I really don't. But she's kind of projecting superiority onto her, like that kind of comparison thing. I think that's a zombie projection. I don't know if that was there. So, but she's really like gung-ho for it. And it's like a lot of people don't use big back as far as I'm aware of. I'm not like super hip. I told you guys I am auntie. So you have to work with me a bit. But as far as I know, it's a joke. It's kind of like anybody can be a big back if they're just eating too much in the moment. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's not like super nasty or like something that's only targeted towards super fat people. Like she probably wasn't even seeing fat people eating on her page. Like it might have been just people that are thin that are just eating fast food or something, or ice cream or whatever. Something that she doesn't want to have on her journey, which is fine. Like I said, I think I'm an outlier where I like to watch weird marshmallow stuff and things like that. And but I don't think that's everybody. So, but I'm also like one of those girly pops that likes like, I don't really burn candles because I don't like the toxicity of it. But like I like this sugar cookie lotion and stuff from Native. Like I like foodified smells. I like that. It doesn't make me want to eat or whatever. So, but I don't think it's so individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it doesn't affect me in that way. I like it though. So that's probably why I like to watch those videos. I'm going too deep on this. I'm sorry.
Eating, especially in this political climate.
What does that mean? So her wanting to be thin or thinner in this political climate, what the hell is so dangerous?
Is so dangerous.
What is dangerous?
So gross. So I think this intersection here is really important for us to talk about, especially in terms of harm reduction, where you can desire weight loss. Your desire for weight loss makes sense given our society.
Given our society. Okay. So again, I think what you see in zombie world, there's a lot of like contradiction. So I'm really honing in on this one now. So society wants you to be thin and super skinny, but society also makes you fat. So we have like the two sides of the zombie worldview coin, which is very odd. It's like they want to trick you into being fat so that they can shame you for it every day and that and this, and it's just weird. It's like you need to kind of pick one, you know? I will pick one. As an anti-fat acceptance activist, I say society wants you to be as fat as possible. That's basically what it is. So whether it's zombies, it's corporations, etc., they want you to be as fat as possible. They make the most money off of you, and zombies get reinforcement from you as the fatter that you are, basically. So they're going to keep pushing you to do more. That's why you have general population becoming fatter, because there's just constant inundation of these messages. We live in the zombie spores of the toxic ritualistic every day. That's true. And they are constantly putting it out there. So she's doing it now. So she's demonizing this young woman for pursuing a vanity journey. Why? And then I think she is trying to say she's racist, which I'll read this later. I'll read this one.
Given this political climate, and still be able to criticize anti-fat bias, fat phobia. You cannot sit idly by and just go, oh, skinny talk, yeah, whatever. It is like 20.
Okay, so that's not an argument. That's not even a statement. That's zombie noises. You're making zombie noises. The brain is going. It's going away. You need to stop.
10 times 10. You know what I'm saying? Do not let people on the internet convince you that skinny talk is healthy, okay, and safe. And
it depends on the person. I don't think you can make a blanket statement about everybody. People are people. There's, you know.
It is a straight up lie that waking up in the morning, being hungry, and feeling skinnier makes you feel better, because your thoughts are so heavily clouded by food.
Well, when your metabolism isn't as good, I don't know why I just coughed. Sometimes, like when you get more hypo, you don't wake up hungry. So, especially in like a downsizing journey, sometimes you don't. I think it's, especially if you're eating carbs and stuff, it's better to wake up hungry than to like be going to bed hungry. It just means like your metabolism's more efficient, basically, if you're waking up hungry. So a lot of what I'm saying is it's likely that she might be slightly hypo-ish or in a vanity journey or whatever. So her metabolism might not be running super fast, or she's going to wake up super hungry, basically, is what I'm saying. I know that was kind of a weird point for a lot of people, but it's not like a lot of people that are downsizing, they don't wake up hungry. Like I usually didn't, because again, downsizing, it does put a little bit of a hit to the thyroid. It's a little bit of work, it's a little bit of this. Of course, you have to balance everything, but then you get back into maintenance and then it gets better or whatever. So just think of downsizing as a stress. So sometimes that can lead to that, where you'll be a little less hungry in the morning, which it's not like a moral thing if you're hungry or not in the morning. I don't know. I hate that I have to say this. I feel like I have to constantly disclaim everything now. Am I in my disclaimer era? Like, what is this? But anyways, also too, I think if you're keto or whatever, it's probably a bit different. Also, if you're doing IF, intermittent fasting, your body gets used to it. So your body will time hunger cues and stuff. So there's a lot of like, all these disclaimers, and I'm going to talk like her. See, this is what happens. I'm an INFJ, so I'm a mirror. When she does it, then I feel like I have to do it, which I hate that. Hate that. That's why I used to have identity issues, to be honest, when I was younger. It's probably one of my TR drives. But anyways, one of my zombie drives was that. Love that. Love that part of my personality type.
Your weight, your body, your movement, and you don't have room for anything else. It is so sad to me how we praise and idolize skinny talk.
So again, that's if you're within the TR, then yes, you are obsessed with your body, you're obsessed with all this stuff. Yes, but not everybody is. So for a lot of people, it's not that deep, and you have to acknowledge that.
And we say that we should lose weight at any cost. These videos are...
So I didn't necessarily see that in what she showed. Maybe there's something more to that video, but I doubt it.
Fucked up, man. Fucked up. Watch.
Okay. So she says, skinny talk, you will never fool me. Always disguising yourself as caring about health, but only if that health looks thin and young. And let's not forget that big back comes from AAVE. diet culture loves to appropriate. Have you ever thought about why our culture is so fixated on anti-aging and thinness? If it's not for health purposes, why is it framed as such? Because diet culture thrives on oppressive systems and unattainable ideals. You are worthy of so much more. Diet culture, sorry, I'm just, oh my God. It's just so, oh my gosh, let me just finish and then I'll respond. Diet culture doesn't deserve your time, money, or energy. They are literally like, they deify diet culture. It's like a force of nature. Well, I wouldn't even say they deify it. It's demonic. It's like they believe you can be possessed or something. And as somebody that is dealing with diet culture myself, I'm still in a vanity era. Diet culture comes in, honey. Diet culture can start to seep in, even in the mids, when you're mid-size, because you have to start kind of transitioning over. And we've all done it before. Like, you have the fat-free popcorn, you have the cottage cheese, you have the chicken breasts and rice, like there's a reason why those foods are on that list. It's because they tend to be kind of filling or easy or light. And so people use them to kind of supplement their diet, which I think is fine. Now, the issue is when you're like me and you're doing it too much and then you start to turn into a diet culture vampire. So I had to start eating steak and now I feel better. So it's like, stay in touch with your body, get it together. Stay present in your body. Feel how you feel. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling good, you may need to shift a bit. Always be willing to shift in a downsizing journey. Always take feedback from your body. I'm doing much better from having some steak. Much better, which steak is not a diet culture food at all. But it is what it is. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. All right, here we go.
To be skinnier. This is my super easy 3-ingredient, no calorie, high protein, no sugar, no soy, rinse food dye, raw milk dessert swap. It's just cottage cheese. And a rice cake I soaked in coffee. It's basically tiramisu, Wegovy, nature's Ozempic, anti-aging. Women, don't ever age. Make sure you look perpetually 12 years old. This shit is so crazy. If I want to have the fucking tiramisu, I'm gonna have the fucking tiramisu. Holy my God, what the hell? I know there's people in the comment sections going, I genuinely love this dessert. I don't think that you do. I don't think, or if you do, I don't think you've had the real thing in so long. And like, I hate diet culture. I hate it. I hate the men who have made you believe that you are not allowed to age or your body's not allowed to change. You are not supposed to look like you're 12 years old for your entire life. That's weird and gross and unnatural, and fuck these men. You need to.
Oh my God. Wow. There was a lot there. There's a lot in that. So I feel like she maybe is feeling insecure about aging or something. A lot of her videos talk about that. And I don't know, maybe I'm not like on enough ads or something. I don't watch enough TV or something, but I think a lot of times you just see like anti-aging cream or something. At least that's what I grew up seeing, stuff like that. Which is like reduces the appearance of fine lines and, things like that. Which I don't think that's giving, like, it's going to make you look like you're 12. Like, it's a very big exaggeration. But age is kind of a different topic altogether. So she does that a lot too, where she'll kind of conflate a lot of stuff. And I think she's trying to beef up her argument. But it's not really working, in my opinion. I don't think it's working. I have a hard time believing that this would help the people that she's supposedly trying to help. Like, I don't think this, I could be wrong, let me know, but I don't think that this type of messaging would help somebody in Anna or Mia. I know it doesn't help people in bingo, in BINGE. It doesn't help at all. It's super reinforcing of that. But I don't think it's actually helpful for the other ones either, because it's just very like, continue to be obsessed with the media, continue to do the, continue to taken the pressure. Let me be pressure against that pressure. It's like, no, I'm going to tell you, get some integrity. Find your inner core. Find your values. Find your identity. Find yourself. That's what you want to do, so that you're not going to sit there and be like, you see something on the TV and it changes your whole routine. You need to not be like that. That's not normal. You should be able to take some feedback or see somebody eating a Rice Krispie, I guess a Rice Krispie or a rice cake, and it shouldn't affect you because that's them. That's what they're doing. I don't have to change because of what they're doing. You see, that's normal. That's not DIS ordered. So you want to get there. There's so much like herd mentality. I call it zombie horde for a reason, right? There's this zombie horde that you're a part of where you feel like, you know, the fungus communicates with you and you have to act like all the other zombies because a spore came in. You don't need to be like that. You need to be immune. You need to be like, no, or oh my gosh, that's so dumb, or whatever. So let's go ahead and go through this piece by piece.
Be skinnier.
So not everybody needs to be. So if I didn't feel like I needed to, then I wouldn't care, which I already feel like I don't need to. It's my choice. I'm in a vanity era, so it's my choice. Everything I'm doing is what I'm deciding to do, and I'm in control the whole time.
This is my super easy 3-ingredient, no calorie, high protein, no sugar, no soy, rinse food dye, raw milk dessert swap.
So that kind of stuff, I get it. Like, it can be annoying. It can be helpful to some people. I think people try. I told you guys, diet culture vampires, they tend to start going towards sludge. I call it the sludge. And I think what happens is you start to get kind of hypo again because you're not eating like as much. So it's a little stressful, especially if you're like working out on top of it too. It's not necessarily bad. You're not going to die, but you're challenging yourself. So you tend to start like, you want foods that are easier to digest. So you start to shift from normal food and you start to want sludge and things that you don't have to chew and stuff. And you see that a lot. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with like, as long as you're in control of it or you're aware that it's happening. A lot of people that are diet culture vampires, they're not aware of what's happening to them. And if you get to a point where everything you're eating is sludge or some kind of like, you know, cheesecake pudding in a cup that's 0 sugar and 0 fat and 0 this, and it's like, if that's like everything you're eating, you're not eating real food anymore. You need a fucking break. You need to stop. Like, that's why I keep telling y'all, have a date. I have a date. April 16th, I'm going to start reverse dieting. Have a date. Keep it sane. Okay. That being said, I have nothing against, you know, grinding up an apple and putting chocolate in it and it tastes like a brownie to you. I have nothing against that. What I'm saying is, if everything you're eating is like that, or it's like you're reaching a point where you need to do that for every single meal, you might need a break. Okay. Like, try to reflect on how long it's been since you started this vanity moment or this vanity weight era. And if it's been like over 12 weeks, especially, you need a break. Dead ass, you need a break.
It's just cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese, the life's blood of a diet culture vampire.
And a
Fat-free cottage cheese, specifically.
rice cake, I said.
Rice cakes, I've had them. They don't slap as much for me, but they're good for a pre-workout. She would hate that I just said that, but I loved it. I loved saying it. She made me love it. That was kind of a brat moment, I know, but I loved it. But she would hate that I just said that. But I like it for a pre-workout sometimes. One time I had like a caramel flavored one. It was good. It was from Aldi. So that worked for me. Again, I'm lifting pretty heavy, all that stuff. Sometimes I need grains. I might need it again tomorrow because I'm going to the gym. And I did feel better having some grains. So again, that's me taking a step out of diet culture and having some starch or having some grains specifically. Sometimes you're going to need it in vanity. Sometimes you're going to need it. it's okay. You know, you got to adjust. So, oh my God. But I did have rice cake and it was good. So, I'm kind of lucky. I'm not a volume eater. So, like, my body is like very sensitive to the amount of calories. So I'm not a volume person, but it's totally genetic. So if you are, I totally believe you. But, and so many people are, so don't feel weird. Again, so much of this schlit is individual. Okay. So genetically you will be a volume eater or not. I'm not. So anyways, but rice cakes are kind of high volume too. So I need to stop. Oh my gosh, the diet culture. It's coming in. Oh my God. Oh, I will say this. I'm kind of getting over the peeps thing. I might not have them anyway. I'm going to have them. You know damn well I am. But I just had to say that.
Soaked in coffee. It's based.
No, I'm just not raging about it. But I think it's because Easter's coming. And I'm like, I'm just going to have it. So I'm like, it's close enough now. So I've calmed down.
Basically tiramisu, Wegovy, nature's Ozempic, anti-aging. Women, don't ever age. Make sure you look perpetually 12 years old.
This shit is so crazy. If I want to have the fucking tiramisu, I'm gonna have the fucking...
Okay, go ahead. If somebody else doesn't want to, then what is it to you? Just have it. But why do I have to have it with you? I don't. I'm not going to. I don't care. I told you guys, one of my hottest takes on the channel is that I love peeps. I do have peep believers in my audience, and I appreciate you all. But I have a lot of peep hate. But I respect your opinion. I do. Because the beautiful thing about not being in the TR is I can have something that you don't like and you don't have to have it. Or you can have something that I don't like and I don't have to have it. It's this crazy concept. It's just truly wild.
Tiramisu! Holy my God! What the hell? I know there's people in the comment sections going, I genuinely love this dessert. I don't think that...
They probably do. I mean, for me, like, I'll be real. Sometimes for me, I have like a little bit of a cognitive dissonance. Like when I'm real deep in the diet culture, what I do is I get fat-free whipped cream and I put it into the cottage cheese. And even me just saying that out loud, it makes me want to cringe. Horrible. Like horribly. But does it taste good to me? Yes. To me, it tastes kind of like rice pudding. I like rice pudding. I don't know why I like rice pudding so much. But when I put the whipped cream into the cottage cheese, and I eat the whole thing, so I'm like, you know. But I'm 6'1". I go to the gym. I'm, you know, plus I'm in a Kesha era, so I'm not even in a super strict thing. But even when I was in by a Kesha era, I mean a more shallow deficit. When I was in a deeper one, which is my Lana era, it was all I had. And it's like some people are doing it deep and they're being strict, and that's okay. And when you're doing that, like sometimes it's all you had. It's all you have. And it helps. And it's filling. And it has a lot of utility. It has calcium in it. It's great. There's so many like issues with people on Ozempic with calcium or with bones. They don't get calcium. You need to get calcium in when you're downsizing. It's so important. So important. But anyways, the point is like it hits in the moment. It does. Now, when it's all I have and I start to get sick of it, then that's kind of sad. And then when I'm having cottage cheese too much, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like then I start to resent it. Then I get into I'm resenting the cottage cheese phase. And then like one time I was having so many eggs. Last year I was like, oh my God, I hate eggs now. I'm so sick of eating them. Like if I have to do this one more time, and it's like, it's different when you're deep. Like I feel better now just because I had steak. So I actually feel so much better. And it's like, I think my diet's more balanced and it's easier. But again, I'm in a more flexible dieting phase. So I just was flopping. It was my flop, my bad. But it's like, if somebody else is enjoying something like that, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason. Now, where I will agree is if there's no end in sight. It just goes on and on forever. Why? So that part I would agree.
You do. I don't think, or if you do, I don't think you've had the real thing in so long. And like,
Well, some people can't. Some people can't have sugar. Some people are having issues. Some people have physical health problems. I mean, or conditions where it's just not conducive. And some people don't like it that much, you know? There's so many reasons why people choose that.
I hate diet culture.
Okay, go ahead, but I don't. I hate it sometimes. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I'm ambivalent towards diet culture. Because you have to learn how to deal with it if you're going to pursue vanity weight. Because you're going to have to do something. So you have to just stay balanced and don't treat it like a demon that's going to possess you or like it has power over you. It doesn't. So I don't know what that is. That's very DIS ordered. But anyways, hold on. All right, let's continue.
I hate it. I hate the men who have made you believe that you are not allowed to age or your body's not allowed to change. You are not supposed to look like you're 12 years old for your entire life.
So I don't know if that's like a specific thing for her or that she's projecting onto a lot of people. I know it's common for people in the DIS order to lump it in with feminism and stuff like that, but it's not connected. Fatness is not gendered. So I don't know. Aging really isn't either. I do understand that there's certain pressures and blah, 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 blah. I do get that, but also like you don't have to subscribe to it either, you know? So just turn off the fucking TV if it's bugging you. You know what I mean? I think everybody has to make peace with aging. I don't know if that's something that she's currently going through. It kind of seems like it, but I'm not shading her for that. But it's like, again, this is where take the pen to paper, write it down, you know? Unless if like your whole channel is going to be about it or something, you know, or you have like a message to make. But I just don't. Aging is not fatness. Fatness is not aging, you know. It's one of those things where she's conflating the issue. So I don't think anybody should feel bad about aging up. I think it's a blessing. Not everybody does. So let's be real about that. Let's keep it 100, okay? So anyways, that's my view of it anyway.
That's weird and gross and unnatural and fuck these men.
Yeah, so anyways, I don't know what that part is, but she might have some other issues that she's working through. But like I said, please just stay on topic. Okay, let's continue. All right, here we go.
This protein now, okay, that's cool and all, but what about carbs? You don't need 3 protein bars, 3 protein, 10 ounce servings of chicken for every single meal, 10 eggs a day, guzzling raw milk, what? No! Yeah, your body needs protein, but it doesn't need the godforsaken number that all these wellness gurus keep putting out to y'all. That's part of the reason why your body's feeling like shit. You need protein, carbs, and fats. You need fiber. The reason why I'm getting aggressive on here right now, because I'm sick and tired of people telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a dietitian! I didn't study 8 years for this shit to just get told, well, your education doesn't mean anything because it's funded by big food. It's not! Plus, people always saying that shit are the ones that are funded by all these different supplement companies, and they're saying, link in my bio for this supplement, after they just told you 30,000 foods that you're not allowed to eat. They're processed, but this supplement, that's okay. Protein this, protein.
Okay. So I don't know what the hell is going on with fat acceptance, but they're super hostile to protein. They hate it. I think it's... Some have speculated that it's because it increases satiety, which is probably true, at least like within a thin person. I don't think it always works when you're really big, though. I will say that as a disclaimer, because it didn't, when I was super big, it wasn't satiating to me as much as carbs were, which, oh my gosh, don't ever say that to anybody, but it's true. Which I know that's crazy, but it was the case when I was very big. However, from the mids onwards, so being mid-sized to thin, it's different. I do have a lot of protein, especially in this vanity era. I have to build muscle, blah, blah, blah. I'm building muscle in a deficit, doing the best I can, et cetera, which yes, you can. Don't get me started. But I couldn't really do it if I was doing 2 pounds per week. I can at 1 pound per week. I'm not that lean, y'all. So I can still build muscle in a more moderate deficit. But it requires a lot of protein to do so. And so it's like, yeah, it's a lot. And you need to just like look at it for what it's worth. Like if you're not in a vanity era, then maybe you don't need that much protein. If you are, then maybe you do. It depends on the situation. I'm in a position where I do. I'm trying to build muscle, so I do need protein. I need quite a bit of it. But they hate that. They really do. There have been times though, like for example in December, I was getting kind of hypo. I was deep in the diet culture for too long, and I got hypo, especially because winter was coming, and it was like, ooh, it like resurged back a little bit. So in December, I wasn't having as much protein. I had to have a lot more carbs and fat. Why? Because I needed energy. I was having my own personal energy crisis. So I needed energy and stimulating foods to stay active and stay awake and stay moving. But that shifted around February and I needed protein again. So I started having a lot more protein, and I'm still having a lot of protein now. But now it's like, okay, enough chicken breast, enough turkey and stuff. I need steak. I need beef. So shift it. You listen to your body in that sense. You can. It's going to be okay. But, you know, she can't handle any of that. So, but people are wanting protein in a vanity era because it helps them stay full, especially when they're already thin. That's true.
Now, okay, that's cool and all, but what about carbs?
Thin or approaching thin. It's true.
You don't need 3 protein bars, 3 protein, 10 ounce servings of chicken for every single meal, 10 eggs a day, guzzling raw milk.
So I will have a lot of eggs sometimes. I don't know what else she was saying. I mean, I think she's exaggerating for the most part, but there are some people that are that way. I call them Seraphites. If you guys know The Last of Us, they're Seraphites. I'm going to have to talk about that more. But there is a lot of fighting between the Seraphites, which are people who are obsessed with clean eating, and they want to be like super naturalistic. So like nothing chemical, toxic, nothing. So super, super like, I wouldn't say it's extreme. It's just they're trying to go for like, they're very purity based. So they're really looking for purity. And you'll have like really 2 flavors of that. There's like the more carnivore wing, and then there's the more vegan wing, and then there's anybody in between. But they just have super high standards, or they like have a super regimented lifestyle where it's like, I have to eat this at this time, and I have to be in bed at this time and wake up at that time. I don't think that that's necessarily a DIS order. It's just very judger coded to the max, and they just love things to be super structured, which is fine. I'm not like that. But then on the opposite end, you have the wolves, which the wolves, they tend to promote more things that are pushed a lot by like corporations and government and things like that, or at least traditionally pushed by government. Obviously that's changed recently, but it'll be like somebody pushing soy, saying it's okay to eat seed oils, it's okay to eat Reese's, it's okay to have, 10 pounds of diet soda in a day, right? That's kind of the exaggerated version. Everything's okay, just count, or just this and that and the other, which a lot of us fall into a spectrum. Obviously, there are people who are like, for me, I'm neither really. Like, I'm in between. I'm a diet soda skeptic. I'm not one that's like, you should be drinking like 10 gallons of diet soda a day. I don't believe in that. I think it's a waste of money, and I think it's gimmicky. I also think people who are like, I also think it's unhealthy to drink that much diet soda. But then a wolf would also say the take of like, it's so important. Like she's kind of more on that side of that spectrum, but she's a zombie, so she don't count. But she did this whole thing where she freaked out about like food stamps or not being able to be used for fast food or something like that. So she freaked out about that. So it's like wolves are kind of like fast food's okay, everything's okay. So it's kind of like, and they just fight a lot, which you could see how those two groups of people would fight. My whole point about them is they're useless. I'm a firefly. You need to be a firefly. Join us when you are lost in darkness. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into that. But the point is, we're fireflies. We're trying to go back to a time when zombies didn't take over everything. That's what we're doing on this channel, period. So to me, they're useless. They're caught up in fighting each other. So she's trying to be a zombie, trying to fight the Seraphites, which it's like, there's plenty of criticisms you could have for them. My attention is focused on the obesity epidemic and the E followed by the letter D world that's taking over everything, basically, or has already taken over. Let's be real. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on that issue. And I'm like, if you want to drink 10 gallons of diet soda a day, I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to fight you for it. I'm not going to fight you over it. And if you want to have organic, raw everything, whatever the hell, whatever, I'm not going to be, it's not that I wouldn't do it myself. I wouldn't, but I'm not going to like police what you're doing all the time. Other people can fight about it. Y'all can fight about it. I don't know what to tell you. It's not my fight. I'm Ellie visiting Seattle because I have beef. No, I'm just kidding. I'm getting revenge on somebody. I'm not in that war. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just fighting zombies, period. So I'm not worried about that. So don't come at me. Because again, it's unproductive. It's useless, in my opinion. But that's my biggest criticism of that whole debate. But that's kind of what she's getting at. She's attacking the Seraphites here.
What? No! Yeah, your body needs protein, but it doesn't need...
So it's like, as a dietitian, shouldn't she be focused more on the obesity crisis, the obesity epidemic? Shouldn't she be focused more on supposedly E followed by the letter D recovery that she supposedly is advocating for? Why is she so focused on somebody eating raw eggs? You get what I'm saying? Or somebody who is healthy. It's like, I think you can make a calm video discussing why you disagree with raw dairy. You can present the evidence. You can be calm. You cannot attack the person, right? Like, you can actually pick a damn topic and like dive deeper into it. I think that that's fine. Like I said, I'm not going to make that type of video. I'm never going to make a video about raw milk or diet soda. It's just not my style. It's not my fight. It is not my fight, y'all. It's not. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to tell you to be keto or to be vegan or to be high carb or to be low fat or whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I know that everybody's different and people have different standards for their lives and different goals, and that's fine. So, yeah. Let's keep the perspective. But she can't handle that. And so she's going to go after people that are probably fit rather than dealing with the obesity epidemic and people within E followed by letter D. She's going to attack them to please the zombie horde. That's her focus.
Need the godforsaken number that all these wellness gurus keep putting out to y'all. That's part of the reason why your body's feeling like shit.
So what is she doing? She's demonizing protein in order to say, I'm a good person. I'm safe. I'm not like these horrible, evil people. I'm better than them. So there's that stalker competition. I'm better because I don't care about protein, which it's like, okay.
You need protein, carbs, and fats.
So if you want to get into full-on like survival, you don't need carbs. You can survive without them. I don't think it's ideal. It's certainly not ideal for me. Not at all. I felt horrible. But technically, you absolutely need fats and you absolutely need protein. That's true to survive. I do love that Robin's here. And you can't see, but there's so many comments, so many responses. Let me see if I can show you. 41 responses. Robin made them mad. Robin made them mad. Anyways.
You need fiber. The reason why I'm getting aggressive on here right now, because I'm sick and tired of people telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a diet.
Okay, so the fiber talk, that's more wolfy. A lot of wolves are like obsessed with fiber. A lot of Seraphites are not about fiber. Okay, so they have their little fights. I'm pretty fiber neutral, put it to you that way. I'm like, there have been times where I've needed to not, times where I've needed to. You know, I think typically now I have more than I used to, but my digestion was really weak, especially when I started. It was very weak, and I would not have been able to tolerate it. So, sorry, not sorry, you know, but I'm okay now. But if she's saying like carbs are necessary, but fiber, or I don't know. Like fiber isn't technically necessary for survival either. I'll put it to you that way. You can survive. But you can survive if that's your standard, you know. You can survive of a lot of stuff, I guess. You can survive basically from a lot of things, but you can't survive without fat and protein. You can't. So there are essential fatty acids and essential amino acids that you can't. So, okay. And then obviously, yeah. I'm just saying, it's just kind of a lot. It's also weird to me because she's so anti-diet culture, but then she's pushing her own version of it, which I always find kind of funny. But that's just what they do.
Dietitian! I didn't study 8 years for this shit to just get told, well, your education doesn't mean anything because it's funded by big food. It's not! Plus, people always saying that shit are the ones that are funded by all these different supplement companies.
So as far as that, I don't really love that argument either. Like, it's just kind of like the throwaway of like, your education doesn't matter. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do think like when your education is telling you to push corporate food, it's like Nabisco. It's like, really? Or when it's telling you to say that poor people need to go to McDonald's. It's like, really? Like, is that what you were taught? Like, some of it is how you present yourself too, you know? If you're obsessed with Oreos as a dietitian, it's like, why? Are you getting money or what? Did somebody tell you that? Who told you that? That's not real food. You know, I don't know. It's just weird. It's very odd.
They're saying,
and I think it's fair to question that. I really do. I really, really do. But I think to just write her off completely, I don't think it's fair. I'll say that. Which again, it's not my fight. She's trying to insert me into the Seraphite versus Wolf fight. It's not my fight.
link in my bio for this supplement. After they just told you 30,000 foods that you're not allowed to eat. They're processed, but this supplement, that's okay. Protein this, protein.
So the supplement thing, yes, it can be a huge grift, but it can also help. You have to educate yourself on that though, and it can interact with medications. You have to be careful. Okay, so as I told y'all, I'm neither Seraphite nor Wolf. I take stinging nettle root extract pretty much every day, which is very Seraphite-ish. But I also have protein shakes that have sucralose, which is very wolfish. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. You have to figure out your own standards for your life. It's going to be okay. You're going to have to use your brain. You're going to have to. Again, I've been flexible with fiber. I've had it sometimes. I've not had it at other times. I'm more so having it in maintenance. I don't need it as much now, but I need it tomorrow probably. You see? But see how it's like, woo! It just depends. I'm on a journey, so sometimes I need things to hit me faster. But other times I don't. Other times I need things to sit longer, you know? So I have been enjoying, like, I had these things, they're called like hunks or something. And they're just like, they're kind of like, they're gluten-free, which I eat gluten-free. And they have like oat flour and shit like that in it, like a bunch of different types of grains, pretty high quality. And then it has the like palm oil, which I need more saturated fat, and chocolate, which is great. So it's really good. So I might get it again tomorrow before my workout, you know. And I think it really depends on where you're at. And people don't like that. They like to be able to say blanket statements. I think it's fine for a dietitian to make blanket statements about everybody, though, or like the general public. So let me be clear, because I have to say everything 20 million times. I don't demonize fiber, but I also am not going to demonize you if you're not having it because you're having digestive issues. I get it. I've been on both sides of that. My digestion is a lot stronger now. I can definitely handle it more. I can eat a bag of raw carrots, for example, and it doesn't like rip me up. I can have those oats and stuff, and I don't feel like I'm going to jump out of my skin. You know, it's like I have more tolerance of grains than I used to. I used to eat rice and I couldn't really handle it, and it would make me feel really anxious when I'd have it. So it's like you just gotta like be attuned, you know? But I got healthier and I can tolerate rice better now. I just have to have a reasonable amount, you know? So just figure it out. Other people are going to be different. Other people will do great with tons of fiber. Other people will do great with less. Like some of that stuff is going to be individual, okay? You got to make your own decisions. I'm sorry. I'm not here to dictate to you everything. I'm not. This is not my fight. But anyways, that's it. I'm going to actually save the other post I was going to do because this video is really long. So I'm going to just leave it till the next time. I'm going to have to cover her again. I'm going to have to. So we will cover that another day. Probably when I need a shorter video, but hope you guys enjoyed this. This was long. This is crazy. It's just a day in my life of a zombie fighter. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.